Hello, this is John William Greenbaum for Guru Baseball Autographs and Baseball TTM Autographs. And I am here because you asked me to make a tutorial video on some of the custom baseball cards that I was sending out TTM, and why I was doing it, and maybe how you can do it too. First off, I want to make one very, very clear point here. If you're expecting a Topps quality baseball card, or an Upper Deck quality baseball card, or a Donruss quality baseball card, even a late 80s Donruss quality baseball card, you're going to have to go elsewhere. Because what I'm doing is I'm making them quick and dirty, I guess you could say. These are not cards that a person would typically fill an album with if they were unsigned. They're there and they exist to be signed through the mail, and that's pretty much it. They're not, you're not going to build a set of these, for example. You're going to go after players that otherwise do not have baseball cards, do not have baseball cards in uniforms that you want to make them out of, or alternately, even you can make them out of a baseball card that you can't afford, or that is somehow unavailable to you, or you just don't like it. I don't know. Anyway, the purpose of, you may ask why make a custom baseball card as opposed to just having someone sign an index card. Well, the Major League Baseball Players Association actually discourages signing index cards, and more recently there was a solution to that. Perhaps you've seen these. This is a signature card from www.theautographcard.com. One word, theautographcard.com. Well, these were kind of meant to be the answer to index cards. They're actually the same size as a standard baseball card, or at least the same size that a standard baseball card has been since 1957. And they sign very nicely in Sharpie or Staedtler Lumicolor pen, but they're not really ideal for TTM. And I say that as someone who has sent out over 100 of them, TTM. And, well, actually more than that, close to 500. There were a lot I didn't get back, or a lot that I got back that were ruined. Or, for that matter, a lot I got back that were not ruined, but they just weren't correctly signed. If you'll notice, this is fairly slick cardstock. Now, it's not 1990s Topps, or late 90s Upper Deck, or late 90s Fleer, late 90s Donruss, where you have to take an eraser to it or baby powder to it. But one of the things that I have noticed is how many guys who don't receive all that much mail will sign these in ballpoint or gel pen. And these are really, really bad cards to get signed in ballpoint or gel pen because they will smear. Worse, well, actually, worse to people who collect these, but not me. I'll take a signature any way I can get it, so long as it's real. A lot of people will just sign the name right here, the team, the date, and they'll leave this side blank. I have actually had that in a majority of cases because, again, these ball players that I send to are mostly minor leagues or cup of coffee from the 1950s all the way up through the 70s and the 80s. They're not, some of them do not even have baseball cards. Well, somebody actually came up with an answer to that called the Racker's Signature Card. Now, I actually do send these out still. If I send out a Topps card that's a multiplayer rookie card, and I'm fairly sure that both guys are going to sign it, but I just want to make sure that I get one guy individually. I'll send it out, and they actually are pretty good. This cardstock is very, very similar to the kind you see on Topps Heritage and Topps Heritage Minors, but it actually is only superficially similar. These are made by Rackers, by the way, R-A-C-K-R-S. One of the problems with these, again, involves ballpoint. I have seen ink transfer if you send more than one. I've seen ink transfer from ballpoint from the big white spot here to the back, and you probably are not going to want that. Now, if you're sending one, that's fine. I don't see it that much on ordinary baseball cards either, so although I have seen it at least once. But anyway, the other point though is that, where's the picture of the ball player? You're supposed to be sending out a baseball card. I've seen numerous index cards where somebody just took, and this used to be popular in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, where somebody would send an index card to a ball player, they'd get it back signed, and guess what? They would take a little newspaper photo of the ball player, cut it out, and glue it to the corner of the index card, because either they were too worried to send out the baseball card, or in some cases, I'm sure the guy didn't have a baseball card. So let me show you two examples of custom cards that I made just tonight. First is Joe Hillman. He was an Oakland A's prospect, first base outfielder, 1988-1989. Now, Joe Hillman was also an Indiana University basketball player. He was on that famous third straight team that Bobby Knight had. But, and also, just judging by my shirt, you could probably tell why I want Joe Hillman's autograph. But also, he was a minor league baseball player. He was actually a pretty good hitter his first year. Then, unfortunately, he hit .236 second year in 1989, was released. But I also collect Indiana University baseball players in general. And I was thinking about getting the baseball card that this is based on, which is a 1988 Pro Cards. Only problem is that with most of the minor league cards where you had team sets, which Pro Cards manufactured, a lot of those that you find on eBay, somebody thinks they have a gold mine, and they price them like 1966 Topps high numbers. So what I did was I actually sized it. It's the exact, well, it's not the exact same size. It's actually a little bit shorter than the signature card, as you can see, which is a standard size card. And I also made my own stats on the back. I actually hand filled in all of the stats using baseballreference.com. And yes, anyway, that's for the other ball player. I'll get to him in a minute, that I did tonight, in terms of a baseball card. Anyway, the thing about a baseball card that you will want is, by the way, as you can tell, if you look closely at the stats, not only did I hand fill them in, this is actually printed out on a 3x5 index card. I used 0.25 inch margins between the in MS Paint, and then just printed it out. It's that simple.